The Bundoran Weekly is brought to you by AIB, supporting local businesses in Bundoran. For more, see aib.ie.
Hi everyone, it's Shane Smyth, Bundoran Tourism Officer. It is Friday the 4th of November 2022 and I'm here with you for the Bundoran Weekly Podcast, episode 207. It is the podcast that talks about everything Bundoran, and a little bit later on I'm going to be joined by Noah Lane from Foam Cafe in the East End, because they've got a brand new brand of coffee, and that has been picked and handpicked and invented pretty much by the guys at Foam, and Noah is going to be joining me a little bit later on to tell me all about that, and Teresa O'Neill will be with me as well in our community corners, so we'll be chatting to her very shortly as well. Plenty of entertainment even though we are into November and into the quieter months, but there's still lots happening, and we want to let's start off at the Allingham as always. Social dancing there tonight with John Malloy, and Sinead McLaughlin is there tomorrow night. The Contractor then tomorrow in the Coolmore Bar from 9:15 to 11:15pm, and in the ballroom then it is music with Patrick Feeney. Eats and Beats with Gary Doherty on Sunday afternoon, and Elaine Boyle then in the Coolmore from 7:30 until 9:30. That is on Sunday. Live music tomorrow night and Sunday evening at the Bird's Nest. Moving down the street to the Chase and Bull is Gary Doherty there tonight, and tomorrow night it is music with True Tones. Thursdays continue at the Bank Bar each and every Thursday night. A special musical treat for you tonight at George's Bar, 9:30 tonight. It's Latin duo Eddie McFarlane and Philippe Carbonell, and they're live at George's Bar tonight from 9:30pm. Don't forget the usual trad sessions Sunday afternoons from 4 until 6pm, and plenty happening there at George's. Phoenix Tavern tonight, it is the big Rail Namara social night. Johnny Gallagher playing there for that, and it is the Borden and Oak social as part of Rail Namara, and tickets are €10 on sale at the door, or indeed via the Club Force app, so search for Rail Namara there. Hand Me Down there tomorrow night, and Sunday it is music with Punching Seagulls. Music tomorrow night as well at the Railway Bar. Tonight it is Kevin Francis at 51 Main Street, and Gary Doherty there tomorrow night. Paris Nightclub open as always then tomorrow Saturday night. If you want to head to the cinema, well, My Father's Dragon and Pray for the Devil are the two movies that are out this week. Pray for the Devil is made by Cartoon Saloon, which is an Irish company, so it's good to see some Irish animation hitting the big screen here and indeed across the globe. Missed It Monday then, if you haven't seen it. Who has yet to see Top Gun Maverick? If you haven't seen Top Gun Maverick, it is your final chance to see it in the cinema probably this year, and it's part of Missed It Monday this Monday evening at Eclipse Cinemas there on Station Road. You can find the full schedule on our website which is discoverbundoran.com, or indeed at eclipsecinemas.com as well, where of course you can book your tickets. There's a Creative Women's Workshop tomorrow afternoon at the Bundoran Community Centre. It's called Let's Celebrate Rural Life. You'll find the details there on the Bundoran Community Centre Facebook page. And the Allingham Festival is happening this weekend. You'll find more information on that on last week's podcast, where I had a chat with the Festival Public Relations Officer Tom Sigafus. It's episode 206, and that is the Allingham Festival happening right across this weekend. Started on Wednesday and going on until Sunday evening in Ballyshannon, and that is the big festival that is on this weekend there, so best of luck to everybody involved with that. We are looking forward to things like Christmas lights and various other events, and don't forget you'll find all of the details on our website. It's discoverbundoran.com/events. One event that I want to tell you about as well is happening next Saturday night at Bundoran Community Centre. It is a great night of music, of jazz, of trad, of blue hillbilly rock and roll from the likes of Ronan Gallagher, Richard Nelson, Mike Nielsen, Mehel, and tons more. They're all playing at the Bundoran Community Centre under the title of concert Modal Citizens, and that is happening next Saturday night, the 12th of November, and tickets are on sale now via Eventbrite. Just search for Modal Citizens, or indeed you can find the link on Facebook as well. So that is a big concert that is happening at the Bundoran Community Centre on tomorrow week, and as I said, you'll find all the details there if you search for Modal Citizens, MODAL Citizens, on Eventbrite, or indeed on Facebook. It is the Bundoran Weekly with thanks to AIB.ie, supporting local businesses in Bundoran and Ballyshannon. Still to come, we're going to be chatting to Noah Lane of Foam Cafe about their brand new brand of coffee that they've got there, and we'll also be talking to Teresa O'Neill in Bundoran Community Centre in our Community Corner, so do stay with us.
The Bundoran Weekly.
I'm Shane Smyth, Bundoran Tourism Officer, and a reminder that our podcast is now also available on YouTube. So if YouTube is your preferred podcast platform of choice, then you can find us there each and every week. And of course, you can find us wherever you're listening now, your favourite podcast app, or indeed stream and download all episodes on demand at bundoranweekly.com. So to what lengths do you go to bring a new brand of coffee to your business? Well, Noah Lane of Foam Cafe literally travelled around the world to get the coffee beans, to get it all done, to get it all sorted, and bring a brand new brand of coffee back to Foam Cafe here at East End in Bundoran. I sat down with him recently and he told me all about it.
Noah Lane, here, surfer in Bundoran, one of the co-owners of Foam as well in the East End. Surfing is one of your passions, but from what I can tell, coffee has become one of your big passions as well.
Yeah, hi Shane. Yeah, coffee's, it's a big part of what we do in Foam. So yeah, it's definitely been a great kind of learning curve, and yeah, it's definitely, I'd say one of my passions.
Good.
Sure.
So you've launched a brand new coffee, I guess you could say. It's called Soil and Sand. And it's got a really interesting story behind it because you went and sought this coffee bean out yourself. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So this is, the project was called Soil and Sand, and we I visited a bunch of farms in Nicaragua. So it's the first time we, as a coffee shop, along with two others, but it's the first time we've directly sourced a coffee. So it basically means that, I went and visited and met the farmers, the people producing the coffee. And then it made its way back to Europe, I suppose. It was roasted in Cornwall through a friend's roastery, Yalla. And Rich was there on the trip with us. And then that was all documented by another friend, James, who basically photographed the whole trip. So we came back with two really nice coffees, and then a book kind of documenting the whole kind of process. So it was really nice because it's the first time I've done something like that, and it was really educational, but it was kind of like joining all the dots, and that was sort of the catchphrase, but it was joining all the dots for us between the farmer, the roaster, ourselves in the cafe, and then kind of the end consumer and the people drinking the coffee. So
you went out with the specific purpose of finding this coffee bean, and had you done much research? Did you know that you were going to find it there, or was this like, we'll try this place Nicaragua first and see how we get on? Or
no, we knew we were going to get coffee from this specific area in Nicaragua. It's sort of in the north. Nicaragua, that region is pretty well known for producing really nice coffee. Nicaragua is probably a bit of an underdog compared to some of its neighboring countries, Honduras and Costa Rica, and they're a bit more established in the kind of specialty coffee scene. But we knew we were going to get the coffee there, and then we also, the second element of the project was obviously surfing. So we knew there was good waves there, and we wanted to go surfing as well. So
What did the process involved in finding the coffee bean or finding the specific one that you wanted, and were you able to kind of get involved in that whole harvesting of it and everything?
So Rich from Yalla Coffee Roasters in Cornwall, he would have a lot more experience in sort of directly sourcing coffee. For us as a cafe, most of the time we're receiving coffees from a roaster. So for me, it was really educational because it was kind of like another step towards, like transparency in the kind of transactions in the chain, because it's a massive industry and it's pretty opaque a lot of the time. So it's really nice to be able to know where your money's going. But so Rich really had he kind of was guiding us in that respect. And so it was a great learning curve for me to to be able to go there and meet the farmers. We weren't necessarily harvesting the coffee as such. We were basically like tasting coffees from different farms, visiting the farms, seeing what the conditions of the farms, the workers, and meeting a lot of people on the way. So yeah.
And when it comes to the tasting, I'm not a coffee drinker, but I can only imagine after drinking a couple of cups of coffee, different cups of coffee, they kind of all might start tasting a little bit the same.
Yeah. Actually, surprisingly, it's quite often the more you taste next to each other, the easier it is to differentiate the flavors. Okay. Yeah. But there's a specific kind of tasting protocol.
Okay.
The same as probably in wine and lots of stuff. It's called cupping.
Tell us a little bit about that then.
Yeah, so you have these bowls, and you might have like, you might have 10 or 15 or 20 different coffees on a table, and there'll be sort of 3 or 4 bowls of each coffee, and you basically you have a spoon. Among other things, there's a load of steps to it, but you're slurping the coffee off a spoon pretty much. And if you're doing that for a load of coffees, most of the time you're spitting the coffee out because it's otherwise you're going to be really buzzed on caffeine. But yeah, you do tend to get a bit of like, I guess, palate fatigue where you're tasting loads of coffees. But it is easier to taste the differences when you have a load of them there. And for any, I'm not like an expert, but you can start to notice, that one tastes different to that one, and this one tastes fruitier or this or that. Whereas, for most people, if you just drink a coffee, you're like, it just tastes like coffee. But once you put them next to each other, you can start to like, figure out the differences and what you like. And
the one then that you chose, or the two, I think you said that you chose, do they kind of really stand out or? Yeah,
so the two we chose, one stood out because it was a really, the farmer he was like an absolute dude. He was a legend. And the coffee was really good, but at that point we actually didn't even taste his coffee because he hadn't harvested yet. But Rich kind of, with his guiding hand, like he knew the farm was at a good elevation, the plants were all healthy. He kind of knew the coffee was going to be good.
A lot of stuff to take into consideration.
Yeah, it's really complicated. That's like basically one of the main things I learned from the trip was like coffee is super complex. It's there's loads of factors involved. But yeah, we knew that coffee was going to be good. But what was really interesting about that was it was the first time he'd ever separated his coffee from a community lot.
Okay.
So it meant basically he's going to get paid a higher price for his coffee because, before it had just gone into a big blend and he was just given kind of a flat market rate for it. So that was quite cool. And then the other coffee was from Two Sisters Farm, and it was really, it's kind of quite a unique varietal, and it tasted really amazing. So yeah.
So then it gets shipped over to Cornwall, and your buddy then roasts it there. What's involved in that end of it, or is that a basic kind of a?
It's dependent on the roastery, but yeah, he roasts it. Rich roasts it at Yalla, and then it was packed up with the books and sent over here, and we've had it in the cafe. We've been drinking it ourselves, and then you get to enjoy it. So yeah.
Brilliant. And so you came back and you said to the lads, I've got this new coffee. Yeah. What was or did you tell them you were going over what your plan was?
Yeah. We were all, it was kind of like,
didn't sneak off.
No, I definitely wasn't sneaking off. I mean, I know James and Rich through surfing initially anyway, so I was going to go anyway just for the surfing element, and then it tied in really well, just being able to like learn more about the process from I guess a business point of view from farm.
Sure.
So
Good. So the coffee has been quite popular since you got back then.
Yeah. It's been good. Yeah, it's been doing well. Like it tastes great. We've been drinking it ourselves and had it in the cafe, and the packs have been received really well. There's a really nice magazine with a bunch of great photographs of James's, some writing in there, and then we had a little launch night which was loads of fun. had a few espresso martinis, and showed the exhibition of images, and been good.
So the book comes along with the coffee, or the magazine comes along with the coffee? Or?
Yeah. So there's a pack with basically the 2 coffees from the 2 different farms and the book in it.
Right.
But you can buy the coffees individually in the shop as well. So yeah.
So we're coming into the winter season and into the surf season. How's that looking for you?
Hopefully a bit more surfing. Obviously, we're pretty flat out in the summer. But we'll kind of hopefully be surfing a bit more. It hasn't been the best start to autumn yet, but it's a long winter. So
do you do the big wave surfing in Mulletmore? Or?
Yeah, try to. Yeah,
right, okay,
yeah, definitely. Definitely try and get out there this winter when it gets good. But just trying to make the most of enjoying the ocean and getting a good balance between working and surfing, and so.
No, listen, best of luck with the coffee. It's come a long way, and no doubt it'll be very popular in the weeks, months and years to come, and you never know, you might get into blending coffee yourself.
Yeah, we'll see how we go. Yeah, thanks very much, Shane. Appreciate it.
The Bundoran Weekly.
Yeah, I really think I'm going to have to start drinking coffee now at this stage. Thanks to Noah for joining me, and best wishes with you and the team at Foam for your new brand of coffee. Let us head now to our Bundoran Community Centre, and there in our community corner is Teresa.
Thanks, Shane. We have the seafront strollers on every Tuesday at 12 p.m. with John and Thursday at 4 p.m. with Teresa. This is a chat and a stroll around the promenade and then back to the centre for tea and coffee. Self-defence course for women in the centre every Tuesday at 6:30 with Chris. If you would like to learn more, please call him on 087 77 64 625. If you are remote working and living in Bundoran or the surrounding area and would like to take advantage of our voucher scheme, please visit connectedhubs.ie, call into the centre to have a tour or to book in to our co-work space. Are you looking for work and need help with your CV, interview preparations or filling in the applications? The RES Outreach will be here in the Community Centre on Friday the 4th of November at 12:30 to 2:30. Leathercraft course with Richie here in the Community Centre every Thursday at 2 p.m. If you are interested, please call him on 085 77 49 649. Due to a demand of our food cloud, the collection is only every Tuesday and Friday at 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. It's only one collection per family.
Teresa, thank you. We'll talk to you again next weekend. That is going to do it for our Bundoran Weekly podcast. It has been episode 207. Don't forget, if you're looking for information on anything that's happening in and around the Bundoran area, discoverbundoran.com/events is where you will find the information. And don't forget our live webcams as well. As the weather gets a little bit stormier, it's great. It's great to sit at your desk and look at the view of the peak or look at the view of the main beach and see what's happening there. You can see it wherever you are, anywhere in the world, just by logging onto our website. It's www.discoverbundoran.com/webcams, and you'll see both of those. And thanks to our friends at Donegal County Council for facilitating that. That's going to do it. I will talk to you again next Friday. Have a great week. We'll talk to you soon. Good luck.
The Bundoran Weekly is a production of Discover Bundoran.
The Bundoran Weekly is brought to you by AIB, supporting local businesses in Bundoran. For more, see aib.ie.